It's Bioactive Build Day.
Hello and welcome to Exotica. My name's Ben, and for the last couple of days I've been creating a bioactive enclosure for my Madagascan Day Gecko named Julien. He's about 10 months old now and I've had him since he was a tiny baby. Since he's still growing, I thought it would be best to create an environment that matched the rainforest in his natural habitat. The first thing I did was find some logs that would be suitable for the vivarium. This piece looks great, so I sprayed it down with water and some reptile-safe disinfectant. I did already have logs that were previously in the vivarium that I would use again in this build. Then I scrubbed down any loose pieces of bark to make sure that it couldn't cause any issues in the future. Whilst waiting for the logs to dry, I sprayed the vivarium with reptile-safe disinfectant. I let the disinfectant sit for a while and I put the cork bark and the branch I found in the oven for about 2 hours to allow it to get rid of any bacteria that could have been left on it. When it was finished in the oven, I decided it was a good time to silicone the background and then add the expanding foam. I added the pieces of cork bark to the background and secured them with some more expanding foam. I then added some substrate to the background to give it a more naturalistic look. Once this was done, I waited 24 hours for it to dry and harden before bringing it inside to properly look at it.
One eternity later.
Okay, so it's been 24 hours, the expanding foam has dried and done its thing. I am somewhat happy with it. Of course, it is my first attempt at doing a custom background, so your first attempt isn't going to be the best one. So yes, there are areas to improve on it, but I'm pretty happy. I'm quite proud of what I've got here. What I think I should have done is I think I should have let the substrate dry a lot more. I should have waited for it to be fully dry. It was still a little bit damp when I put it on the foam. As you can see, some of it has fallen off around here and there, so there is still a bit of exposed foam, but that's okay. It kind of gives it a rocky texture. Yeah, so I'm happy with it, and all I've got to do now is get the plants in, get the bioactive substrate in there, get the normal substrate in there, and then of course carve that off. I'll do the carving first, and then I'll get the decoration sorted. Then we'll just have to put the gecko back in there. Okay, I've carved off the excess bit at the top so that the lid can fit on there nicely now. Let's clean that up and get the rest of the substrate in there. Okay, the back wall is carved and fit to size very nicely. As you can see, the roof of the vivarium fits on well. I've already started to put the bioactive drainage layer in. However, I'm going to put the plants in their pots first, as I was given the advice that they're absolutely fine to stay in the vivarium in their plant pots. Words are hard. In their plant pots, and then I can build up the substrate around them. It makes it easier to water them and the roots don't get everywhere in case I ever need to change the substrate again. Alright, I've found a position that I'm quite happy with for these plants. I can't quite remember the names of the plant species, but I think they look quite nice in this vivarium. They've got the white leaves, flowers, I don't know, on them here, and I think it goes quite well with the background too. So let's get the substrate in there and then the remaining logs, and then we'll be sorted. Alright, I have got the plants, the drainage layer and the separator, which is this bit of mesh here, into the vivarium. I made sure to soak the drainage layer just to make sure it's got that level of moisture before putting the rest of the substrate in there. I'm happy with it. Let's get the substrate in. Alright, and that is the vivarium finished. I've put the substrate in. I've managed to get some moss in there to kind of help me hide that plant pot. And there's a bit of slate here too underneath this here log. I decided not to use the one I found here. I decided against using it because it was a bit broken and it could have caused splinters and other problems. So I left it as it is, but overall I think this looks amazing. I'm really happy with it. I'm actually quite proud of what I've done. For my first bioactive vivarium, I'm super happy. I hope Julien feels the same. We'll find out soon. Before Julien goes back in here, I'm going to give him some crickets laced with calcium powder so that he can chase his food and gain a bit of a boost to his bones. And here I am putting Julien back into the vivarium. He decided he likes me all of a sudden, which is very surprising for a Madagascan Day Gecko, because they're usually completely unhandleable and they're just a pet to look at and admire. After a bit of bonding, he jumped straight into his vivarium and he explored his new environment. But that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know what you'd like to see next on the channel. I'm always open to feedback and video ideas. If you did enjoy, then liking the video would mean a lot to me, and if you'd like to, then subscribing really does help the channel. If you don't want to miss an upload, then turning on notifications does let you know when I've uploaded a new video to enjoy. But thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.